I love engVid and James from ESL. I also love Mr. E. Hi, James from engVid. This is one of our viewers. Handsome young man. He works for American Apparel. I'm lying. He likes jackets, shirts, and whatever. It just reminded me of something I wanted to teach you today. And this reminds me that I'm hungry. Actually, it helped me remember. So what's the lesson today? Well, today's lesson is on memory. Memory. I have many memories. Memories like we were, yeah. Barbra Streisand, great song. I don't recall when I first heard it, but it does remind me of when I was younger. I do remember it. I've used 3 words about memory, and I'm sure you've heard these before and you're thinking they're all the same. James lesson, or James ESL lesson number 1, same and similar are different. These words are similar that they have something in common. And we're going to look at, in common means something that is familiar, like family, right? They have something in common, and we're going to talk about it right now. Each word, recall, remember, and remind, starts with the same 2 letters, R-E. R-E, see, Mr. E is like, R-E, Mr. E, what is this? Mr. E, get it? If you're new, that's the joke. Every lesson's a mystery. R-E in Latin, I can't remember if it's Greek, stands for back or again. That I recall, and that is correct. So you think about report, repair, redo. They all have to do with doing something again or bringing it back, right? Return, come back. In this case, each one has something different. We have back and again with the call, back and again with the mind, back and again with member, but it's not member. In English, member is a specific meaning. It's an adult meaning. Some of you will look and laugh, I'm sure, when you go, he's talking about his member. Anyway, remember, in this case, it's memory, because ER means something, usually for a noun form, so we go back to memory. Now we're going to break it down. If each one means back and again, what does each word mean? They are similar, but not the same. Let us investigate. I recall beginning the lesson with a song. I will come over here. Recall. It comes from call. When you make a call, excuse me, got to call someone. Check the number first, okay? Call. Yo, what's up? Yeah, I'm going to need a bag of crack, 1 bag of coke. Sorry, don't forget to put $50 on the horse. This is the wrong call. But the joke of it is, I'm active. In order to make the call, I have to do something. The call will not happen unless I do something. When we talk about recall, do you recall this? We're asking you to activate your memory by looking for stored information. Something you have learned that occurred in the past, which is not something you keep around because it's not necessary all the time. It could be something where you see someone do something on a Monday, which doesn't seem important at the time, but then on Friday they might say, hey, do you recall where I left that file? They're saying, please go back in your memory, like really search and see where I left that file. I need to find it now, okay? So that's what we recall. It means to actively search. Someone says, I don't recall. I'm looking actively, I'm really trying, but nothing's coming. What's the next one? Well, remind. Remind. Mind is what we have between our ears, most of us. If you're watching this video, I'm sure you have a great mind and you're a fantastic human being. Remind me. Well, once again, we get call or back. And you notice it says back to. It means something comes back to your mind. Okay? So when you remind me of something, you're going to say, hold on, that's the same as the other one. You just remember. And I'm like, here's your mistake, son. Or here's your mistake, daughter. Yeah, let's stick with, here's your mistake, son. Okay. When you recall, you go into your head and you bring back the memory. No one can make you recall. But remind, is different. Remind means bring back to my mind, and it's usually something outside. I'll ask you to remind me of the address you have to go to at the end of the video, right? You need to remind me. You cannot recall me. You can't do it. It's impossible. But you can remind me, and we'll do it at the end. So something outside of me. So when I need to remember to talk to Mr. E, I put a marker in my ear like this. And when I need groceries from the store, I put a marker like this. Of course, the police pick me up every week because they think I'm crazy. But it does remind me, don't do this in public. Okay? Something outside brings back a memory to me, and it makes me remember something. Okay? So you can remind me. I can remind myself by doing something special, and that helps me bring something to my mind so I can remember. I've talked about two words, and I keep using the same word all the time. Have you noticed what it is? Do you remember which word I used in September? It's remember. Yes, I can't sing, and all these artists I sing, when I sing their songs, I get letters saying they're going to sue me and I have to stop. But I can't. I must dance. Okay. All right. Remember. I keep saying remember to explain these. And we talked about remember has back or again. It has both things. Something comes back to my memory or I bring it up again. Remembering is simple. The memory is there. It's active. It's waiting. It's waiting for you to use it. I remember. I don't have to recall it because it's here. My name I remember. I got it a long time ago, but I use it all the time, so it's here. Mr. E, I remember him, unfortunately. That's why every video he's here. Right? I don't have to recall him. No one reminds me. I remember him. So we say remember for something when it's ready for use in the memory. Like I say, you need to remember this. Okay, get it ready for use. Or it's waiting to be used. Like, come on, let's go. Here's another little one. This is for free because I like you. I really do. Actually, the whole video is for free, so don't worry about it. Okay. We also say remember to, and we add the to because it's a little bit more, and it's actually funny. It has nothing really to do with memory. It does, but it's more than memory, which the other two don't have. And that's what makes remember different from the other two. It has two distinct meanings, okay? It means to do something you have promised to do or needs to be done. And I'll add the word to after it, so it won't be just remember. You'll see this, it'll be remember. Sorry, let me go up here. Remember to, and I'm doing it now, remember to explain it to the students, right? So remember by itself is just memory, but remember to means I have an obligation of some type. Remember to close the door before you leave. I'm not just saying remember it. That's not going to be good. You leave the door open. Police going to your house. There was a robbery. Somebody forgot to close the door. You go, I remembered it. I just didn't do it. That ain't good. We have a video on ain't. And if you haven't seen it, you should go and see it. Just go see it. Anyway, remember to means you have an obligation that needs to do. You need to do, okay? So if they add to, it's a little different. It's not just memory, it involves action. So let's remind you of the lesson before we go, okay? Short lesson, but hopefully a good one for you. You'll recall we started the lesson with the word recall. Bring back information that you have stored away. And then I wanted to remind you before I left of the website you'll go to, which I shall do. And if you remember, there are two meanings for remember. I have done more than my duty. And Mr. E, you will be happy with me. Right? Good? We've got them down. Don't forget to do the quiz. Need I remind you where you must go? Do you recall what I told you? Probably not, because I haven't told you yet, so it'd be impossible to remember. But we'll do it now. To work on your memory and other things, we should do a video on memory. Ooh, boys and girls. Okay. Go to www. That's just to remind you, ing, as in English, vid, as in video, which I'm sure you remember because this isn't your first time and this isn't your first rodeo, right? I do recall when I was first starting out in this business and Mr. E and I were just strangers. Strangers in the night.